everyone. Welcome to the Love Loft, where we dive deep into the world of relationships, love, and self love. I'm Zara J, a former matchmaker and relationship coach with over a decade of relationship industry experience. And I want to talk to you today about my 8 love loop relationship patterns, which is the Love Loft signature relationship patterns. I want to introduce you these truly transformative relationship patterns so they can help you to understand how you can heal your generational triggers around love and relationships and self-love so that you can stop sabotaging your relationships and so that you can attract happier, healthier love. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So what are the love loops? These are unique relationship patterns that influence how you connect with others. And by knowing your love loop, you can empower yourself to overcome obstacles and build fulfilling relationships. And this isn't just about romantic relationships, this pours into your family relationships, your work relationships, and most importantly, the relationship that you have with yourself. So let's go ahead and dive in and explore each one by one, starting with the romanticist. Now, the romanticists are the hopeless romantics of the bunch. They love the idea of love and they often find themselves getting swept into romantic fantasies. Romanticists tend to seek validation through being needed and they can easily become codependent during the dating and courtship process or in a relationship and marriage. For the romanticists, they often find themselves putting partners on a pedestal and sacrificing their own needs in order to make their partner happy. And this can lead to low quality attraction and settling for less than what they actually deserve. Now, an important thing for the romanticist to know is that by you always trying to avoid conflict, you end up shrinking your own wants and needs. And this often leads you to being in the friend zone when it comes to relationships, or as someone's big comfy couch, as I like to say. You're like the therapist, you're the lovers, you are the ones who will save a kitten from a tree and nurture it back to health. And while those are admirable qualities, they can often cause you to self neglect and to not put your own emotional needs first. So, this isn't exactly the best approach to love and to relationships. Instead, you need to start taking a more fun, fearless approach to your love life by taking big leaps when it comes to asserting your needs and asserting boundaries. Here we have the Mavericks. Mavericks cherish their independence and they have a deep fear of rejection. So they tend to self isolate. They would be more of the avoiders when you think about an avoidant attachment style when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to emotional intimacy. They often struggle with emotional intimacy and tend to shut down when relationships get too close. Mavericks can also be very harsh critics of themselves as well as others due to this low self worth that they struggle with very secretly often. And something that's important for you to know as a maverick is that if you are trying to get out there and to meet someone, and move your love life forward by spending more time nurturing yourself in environments where you feel safe and you feel valued, like by doing things that you love, doing things where you get to shine, like maybe you're super smart, maybe you're very creative, whatever those things are. But by doing this and being in environments where you feel safe and valued as a maverick, you will tend to feel more emotionally safe to open up. Mavericks need close connections. They need a balance of a safe space and also space for themselves in order to attract the right partners for them. It really is a dance between their own space and also giving themselves a little bit of emotional intimacy so that they can do that dance with a partner. So it's really like a tug of war between don't get too close, but I want you close. But having a partner that aligns with your values will allow you to feel more safe to open up and eventually cross that bridge towards commitment. So you want to think about spending more time around others or meeting romantic partners in settings that are like small gatherings, maybe work connections, or being introduced through friends so that you feel more safe romantically, you feel more safe to open up, to be yourself, and that you have that level of trust established in order for you to meet a potential partner. Next, we have trophy chasers. Trophy chasers are high achievers who often don't feel worthy or loved deep down inside, in spite of how successful they may be or how attractive or how intelligent, they usually are actually trophy partners, but they don't see themselves in that same light. So instead, they tend to enter relationships where they're very highly pursued and they are sought after as a trophy, but somewhere along the line, the funnel tends to flip and they start pouring all their love, all their affection, all their attention into partners, putting them on a pedestal and treating them as a trophy. And this causes a misalignment. This need to chase and to prove yourself as worthy and deserving. And a lot oftentimes it stems from a wound where you had to prove that hard work pays off, and the harder you work and the more you prove yourself, the more deserving you are of the trophy. This is actually what ends up sabotaging your love life, and it can lead to a lot of stress and a lot of frustration when you get into a space of trying to chase and prove your worth. So, for trophy chasers, you should focus on living your captivating life to the fullest. Pour into yourself, live your dreams, keep achieving, go after your goals, put your energy into that. Not only when you're single or when there's no one in the picture, but truly find the balance in maintaining that during the dating and courtship process or in the relationship. So, for trophy chasers, it's also important that you learn to listen to your inner wisdom, learn to listen to your intuition, and to allow yourself to be pursued. This is so important, not just in the beginning. This is so important, trophy chaser, to allow yourself to be pursued. You have to find the balance and a rhythm with that so that you don't go into your trophy chasing energy. By doing this and taking actions that feel good, while doing what you love, you will attract the right partner. It takes a little bit of work, it takes a little bit of emotional discipline, trophy chaser, but you can do it. Next, we have the allures. Allures use their sexual energy to seek validation. They often find themselves in cycles of high attraction and high physical chemistry and emotional chemistry and sexual chemistry, followed by rejection, ghosting, and disappointment, which truly, truly, truly will hurt an allure's self-worth. It's so crucial for allures to set boundaries around their sexuality and to channel their energy into creative projects and passions. And if you understand that the creative energy, the sexual energy is one of the same, when you are feeling triggered, when you're feeling that need of validation, when you are feeling like you need to prove that you are desirable or worthy or that you have the connection with this other person, channel that energy into something that's going to be more productive. Channel that energy into something creative or dance or music or art. It could be home improvement projects, whatever those things are. It could be a business, but you need to channel that creative energy into a more healthy, balanced way. So for allures, your key trait, as I just said, is to focus on what you authentically love and learn to set strong, bold boundaries. By doing this, you can build more secure relationships and more fulfilling relationships and break that cycle of high physical chemistry, high oxytocin attraction, high levels of physical desirability that only leads you to go against your values, go against your boundaries, which makes you lose the trust in yourself. And then you end up going through a breakup or disappointment or rejection and not feeling the love and the connection and the desirability and the security that you actually desire in a relationship. Now we have the gadgets. Gadgets are the observers who struggle with deep fears of rejection and comparison. And I say that the observers because they're always trying to figure out where they fit in. That's why we have the key as their symbol. They're trying to figure out, where do I fit in? How do I make this work? They tend to pay more attention to observing relationships and watching relationships and actually participating in it, whether that is friendships or romantic relationships or just some type of social relationships. They tend to take a reality TV type of view to life, and they like to watch and to observe and to theorize, but they don't like to usually engage. They often toggle between anxious and avoidant behaviors, which makes it very hard for them to form lasting connections. Now, for gadgets, you need to step out of your comfort zone and surround yourself with positive, supportive people, because this will allow you to feel more emotionally safe. This will allow you to also put yourself in environments and around people, or even the content that you're consuming, that's going to feed positive beliefs and new environments that's going to be supportive of the type of relationships that you want. It's going to be encouraging, and it's going to break you away from the fear of disappointment and rejection, especially because my gadgets, they tend to be drawn to negativity. They tend to be attracted to drama and all the things that could hurt them, because they want to avoid it so much. So instead, they just tend to watch. But by putting yourself in new, healthy environments and putting yourself around people who are positive about relationships, who support you in relationships, who speak highly about relationships, your environment plays such a crucial role in your ability to overcome and to break this pattern, that you can attract new beliefs, new thoughts, new emotions when it comes to love and emotional intimacy, when it comes to relationships, and so that you can experience the type of love and relationship that you desire. Next, we have the Globetrotters. Globetrotters are confident on the outside, but they struggle with their self worth internally, and they struggle with a deep fear of commitment due to their fear of failure and perfectionism. They tend to focus on flaws whenever they meet someone or after they get past the initial honeymoon phase. They tend to become red flag and flaw focused, and this is a way for them to control the outcome of the relationship. It gives them a reason to exit. It gives them the reason to get back to globetrotting. Globetrotters need to open up when it comes to vulnerability and allow relationships to unfold, and not look for reasons to leave, not look for reasons to run, not look for reasons to exit. So the key for the Globetrotter is to be assertive and to spend time with healthy couples, so that you can learn to build natural, healthy relationships and overcome your fear of commitment. You need to create a more balanced view and expectation of what relationships are, especially when it comes to conflict resolution and learning the difference between red flags, yellow flags, green flags, and just balancing your expectations so that you feel safe to move forward in a relationship. Next, we have the dragons. Dragons are practical daters who often treat relationships as a transaction. They're very much like, do you fit these boxes? Will you fill this role? Whether it's the husband or the wife role, the boyfriend or the girlfriend role, it tends to be a very transactional type of relationship on the surface. They attract commitment very easily because they are practical daters. They don't have super high standards, not necessarily low standards. They're really looking for someone to fit a role and to play a part. They tend to attract this commitment easily, but they also struggle when it comes to deep emotional connections. Dragons, they have to heal their own emotional wounds, not just focus on their partners, but heal their own emotional wounds and allow themselves to be vulnerable in order to truly fulfill their relationship needs. Now, for dragons, choosing partners who meet both your functional needs and your basic needs in a relationship, and also choosing partners who also meet your emotional needs, and learning to lead a relationship emotionally when it comes to trust, when it comes to vulnerability, when it comes to emotional connection, understanding, empathy, all of those things. That's going to help you to build a more fulfilling and lasting relationship. But here's the thing, I'm going to be really transparent with you right now. Because dragons tend to enter relationships pretty easily, and they are the practical daters of the bunch, they tend to be in relationships no matter what, which often means that they often skip the phase of healing or doing the inner work. So if you do identify as a dragon, you've taken a relationship pattern assessment, and this is the relationship pattern, the love loop that pertains to you, please do not confuse the fact that because you are in a relationship, it means that you don't have any work to do in yourself. I can bet and guarantee that you're probably in a relationship that does not feel emotionally satisfying, or you do not feel safe to be vulnerable, or you do not trust your partner, which means that there's still inner work to be done, even though you are in the relationship or you have the commitment. Do not skip the inner work if you truly want a relationship that's going to last and it's going to be fulfilling. And last, we have the Venoms. Venoms are drawn to toxic relationships. If you're a Venom, you may also be the toxic partner. But for Venoms, the thing is that you need to learn to connect with your feelings. You need to learn to listen to your feelings, listen to your inner wisdom. You need to learn to balance how you feel and your insecurities and your low self-worth, heal those wounds so that you can set bolder boundaries and learn to trust yourself first. Listen to your inner wisdom, that intuition. Learn to trust yourself so that you can make high quality relationship decisions. This will allow you to make healthy relationship choices, which will break the cycle of your toxic relationship attraction. And often this is stemming from childhood, which is totally understandable and normal in most situations. But you have to make the decision to do the inner work on yourself so that you can break the toxic relationship cycle. So, by aligning with your authentic value and building a captivating life, you will establish more confidence, more self worth, and you will learn to trust and to listen to yourself because you are learning to meet your own needs, especially on the emotional plane. And this will allow you to attract more love, more self love, healthier relationships, and also the respect that you desire in a relationship. Now, by understanding your love loop, you can heal your generational triggers and your love blocks and transform your relationships so that you are elevating your life to your next level. Now, are you ready to discover your love loop? If so, and you haven't already taken the relationship pattern assessment, go to the link in the notes in the description so that you can go ahead and take the quiz and figure out which of the 8 love loops you are currently operating in. You can also join our newsletter for more insights and tips on building better relationships. Plus, you can also learn a lot more about starting your journey to love so that you can have healthy, happier romantic relationships, family relationships, and most importantly, self-love. Go to the link in the show notes to join the newsletter. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos and love and relationships. See you next time at the Love Loft.